sometimes I feel like it's really tempting to rush the promise. And we want to be careful because, like, Abraham and Sarah rushed their promise. And that didn't turn out so great because they were trying to have a son before God's timing. And it was a promise. So just think, like, God has promises for us in our life. But we have to just, have peace about his timing, even though I know it's hard. I mean, I'm not downplaying how hard it is, because it is hard. I remember, like, being in a season where I was just on fire for Jesus. I was just so in love with him, and I still am. I'm not saying I'm not. Oh, gosh. I didn't feel, a lack of contentment in this season. And so, I had that experience with the Lord on my drive to work, and I just felt him close, and I felt his presence. But I got this prophecy, and I wondered, like, how does this apply? Like, how does this work? Because he was saying, quit wondering when your boyfriend's coming through the door. Like, those are his exact words, But I was kind of on the lookout more at the time. But really what confused me at the time was, don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about, what the world's doing. Like, you're not missing out on anything. And I felt confused because I knew that. And I was like, okay, but I know that I'm not missing out on anything of the world because I know who I am, and I love what God has for me in the future. And I know it's worth the wait. But then it wasn't long before I got into a season that was, for one reason or another, God only knows why, some seasons are just harder than others. And I entered into this time where I just was lacking the contentment again. And it was a struggle. And so I just remember having to recall that prophecy in the moments of temptation, in the moments where I'm like, okay, I feel really lonely in this season. There's a number of guys that maybe I could even have called up and sinned with. But I just remembered that word, and I was like, okay, that prophecy wasn't for that time. It was for now. It was for the moment that I would be in the future. And God just knows already ahead of time. I got to hold on to that and, like, okay, God, you told me that I wouldn't be missing out on anything. So I'm going to hold on to that, and I'm going to trust you, and I'm not going to let these false, they're not false desires, but they are imitation to what he has. Have you ever had, like, imitation crab, and then you've had real crab? Oh my gosh, I love crab legs. They're so good. I could eat them every day. They're so good. Even I was, like, teaching my husband how to crack crab legs because I just feel like I'm a pro at it because I just love them so much. They're so good. And just eating real crab. And then I went somewhere and they're like, here's some crab dip. And I ate it and I was like, what is this? It's imitation crab. It's not the good stuff. But for you, God has the good stuff. He has the good stuff in store. And we have to remember that when we're in the season that's hard. And I had to look back to that prophecy because another portion, he said, I already see it. I already see your marriage. And it's more than you could ever imagine. And it's that I hold on to. And what I hold on to about it, even now thinking about it, is it was more than I could ever imagine when I met Dustin. It was more than I could ever hope for. When this man came into my life through means I never imagined. I never ever thought I would try online dating. I never ever thought that I would meet somebody that way. But I was amazed and so thankful that that's how God brought him into my life. And what was so beautiful about this prophecy is it's not done. Because he said, I just see your marriage 10, 12 years down the road, and it's more than you could ever imagine. Now, it didn't take 10 or 12 years to get married. I wondered, oh gosh, does that mean it's going to be another decade? No, it didn't take 10 or 12 years to get married, but having a child is strenuous on a marriage, and it's beautiful and it's amazing. We love our family. We love our girl more than anything. But knowing that prophecy is not done, knowing that in another 3 or 4 years, 3 to 5 years, like, God is still moving. Our marriage is still going to be more than I could ever imagine. And it's worth trusting God, taking him for his word, and knowing that what he has for you in the future is so much better and more beautiful than what we try to create in the present. But in the present, even when it's hard, live in it. My mom always says, do not wish away time. And a lot of people say, don't blink. It goes in the blink of an eye. What does God have for you in this season right now? What does it look like? What does it mean? And I don't think that means don't pursue the things that he has for you, but don't run to imitation promises. Run to the real thing. Run to the real God. Run to Jesus, and it's going to be good. And today is good. Today is good. Tomorrow is good. And your future is beautiful, and know that, but don't forget to live in today. Have a great day. Have a God-filled day.